How to become a better manager and leader. I've worked with a lot of them. I've taught a lot of people. I'm going to give you 5 specific action steps that will help you achieve this. When we can live life on our terms, on a holistic level, taking into account not just our business lives, but also our health, all of our relationships, from friends, family, to our partners, the world changes. All right, so the fact that you're even checking this out, good for you. Shows that you have a spirit of curiosity and you want to get better. Fantastic. So there's 5 very simple, but simple isn't always easy, things that you need to do to become a great manager and become a great leader. So the first thing is making sure that you're clear on the vision. Understanding where is the organization going and how are you and your team contributing to that, and then how is each team member contributing to that success. Sounds very simple, but that is one of the primary things. Is first we have to start defining the vision. Make sure we have that vision, number 1. Number 2, how are your people contributing to achieve that success? What are they accountable for? This sounds incredibly simple, but the number of times that people don't really know what they're doing or why they're doing it, it's immense. It is unbelievable the amount of waste out there because, well, I was afraid to ask, or just keep my head down and the paycheck clears. Those aren't people you want. You want to be a great leader. You want to be a great manager. Hey, here's where we're going. This is what we've defined as the leadership team or as the organization. And then this is how our team is contributing to achieve this, and this is how you're contributing to achieve that. Think of it from a very simple level on a football team. The organization wants to win the game, okay? But we've got special teams, we've got offense, we've got defense. If you happen to be running the defensive team, great. Our job is to minimize the number of yards gained and increase any turnovers we can. So with that, as if you're the defensive, wherever you sit on the team, how are you contributing to achieve that? Making that clear, you put the right people in there, and they're in the right people, they share your values in the right seats, they're great at it. Oh my God, they understand the vision and they understand exactly how they're contributing to that success. Huge. Now the third thing then is going to be, how is it they're tracking success? How do they know if they won or lost that week? How do they know that? So if I'm on the defense and I happen to have 3 sacks and 2 turnovers, I personally contributed enough ideally to win. Now, it doesn't mean I give up, and it doesn't mean I'm not a team player, but it helps me understand where I'm at with the overarching piece. If you gave up 100 yards or 1,000 or whatever it is, then that defense knows that they are falling through and they are falling down. So with this, think about your team. How is it for the people, the members on your team, how do they know if they won that week or they didn't? And make sure then that you have a way of communicating that so that they know it and there's transparency so others see it. Because when you have the right people, they want to win. And when they understand what they're accountable for and how they're doing it, it makes it easy. All right, the 4th thing is, how can you transition and actually take your approach with them as a leader and manager to more of a teacher, facilitator, and coach? How can you become their champion? When you have amazing people doing amazing work, great. That's the ideal team. Here's the vision. Here's how you're contributing. Here's the metrics. You're great at what you do. Now, how can I coach you to get better? How can I remove any obstacles or barriers? How can I be your champion? When you have challenges, you feel comfortable coming to me, and as a team, we'll help solve them. But that's where you transition to that teacher, facilitator, coach space. You think about it, the greatest coach on the planet, the greatest leader on the planet, great leaders, oh yeah, I know how to do all of it. I jump in and I help all over the place. Have you ever seen a football coach do that? No, it's against the rules. But they also know that they have better people than they can out in the field. So that's the objective. How can you end up becoming that teacher, facilitator, and coach? And then lastly, the 5th thing is, how can you just stay ultra consistent? How can you, as the leader, as the manager, model the behaviors you want your team to follow? If you're sitting there smoking and you catch a 15-year-old kid smoking, like, hey kid, you shouldn't be smoking, no credibility. So if you say, hey, it's important to be on all meetings on time, that means you need to be a little bit early. If it's important in our meetings, we say we're going to do something, we do it, you have to do everything you say no matter what, hell or high water. Or if not, you're very candid about why, and you ask your team for help. But when you do this, when you are ultra consistent and you start that with yourself, then it's going to be easier for you to be ultra consistent with your team members. Because if you hold your team accountable this week, but you're not too worried about it next week, and then the next week they're fine, and then the next week you get mad at them, that's not fair. You need to be consistent. But when you do these things, when you create a clarity of vision of where we're going, everybody on your team understands how they're contributing to achieve that vision. We have a metric that tracks so they know whether they're successful or not. You act as their champion, their teacher, facilitator, and coach. And you're ultra consistent in not only what you model, but how you hold everybody accountable. Everything starts to come up. So if you're wondering how to become a better manager and leader, those 5 steps will do it. So if you had questions about this, you're welcome to go to and leave a note at lifeon-yourterms.com. It's an area where we talk a lot about helping people treat the senior leaders as the primary asset of their organization, understanding that work-life balance really can't exist anymore, but a healthy work-life integration can. And we talk about that a lot. So subscribe, check out some of the other videos on the channel. Got any questions? Let us know. Keep smiling.